What is going on, everyone? It is your boy Blank Online here today. We're gonna be chatting some more Call of Duty Modern Warfare and some pretty funny news actually. This is actually pretty hilarious. Activision has been sending out surveys asking players what will bring them back to Modern Warfare. And I myself, I haven't gotten this survey yet because I think that the way that they send it out is that they'll send it to players who haven't logged as much time into Modern Warfare as they have in previous Call of Duties, or what they've done is they have looked at players who have played Modern Warfare or haven't played a lot of Modern Warfare, like they've logged some hours or minutes and that sort of stuff, but just haven't played a lot. So I think that's the way that they're looking at this, and it's pretty interesting to see what sort of points and what sort of things they're kind of saying that could change or players want to be changed and that sort of stuff. So I'll show the list, and I'll also read out the list, and I'll read out some of the more, I guess, the more important things and the things that I think are most important to be looked at as a result of this survey. So one of the main things here is to look at spawn logic issues in multiplayer maps. So one of the points here is if spawn logic issues in multiplayer maps were resolved. So obviously Infinity Ward and Activision know that spawns are still a big problem here in Modern Warfare, and they've been a problem since launch. We've gotten, I think, 10 patches or so, 10 proper game patches. There have supposedly been spawn issues and spawn tweaks and stuff like that, yet they're still pretty garbage, especially on Shoot House, and especially on the new remastered maps besides Shipment. Like, you can't really change Shipment, but on Vacant and Crash, spawns on those maps are pretty freaking garbage. And again, one of those reasons for the spawns being garbage is because of safe space and Infinity Ward wanting to give new players a pretty much bubble that they can spawn into. So that's a very, very interesting point there being said. The next one, weapon balance issues being resolved. So the 725s has gone through numerous patches. There have been improvements for that gun, and good on Infinity Ward for making improvements, but still there's issues in balancing weapons like the M4. A lot of the LMGs in the game are fairly overpowered now that a lot of the assault rifles have been nerfed, so LMGs are kind of making their stand now. But yeah, weapon balance is another one, and that's an obvious one. The next one that I want to talk about is match balance issues were resolved. Now this is in terms of skill-based matchmaking, and I'm going to be bringing out a video that discusses skill-based matchmaking and the new findings behind skill-based matchmaking, some stuff that Drifter missed, and maybe some stuff that he missed because he didn't want to expose it because he's, I don't know, he's whatever, COD Partner and all that sort of shit. Match balance issues, something that everyone wants to see fixed, and everyone wants to see resolved here in this game, and will fix a lot of things in terms of how fun this game is. So match balancing issues is something that they're looking at. And then the last one I want to talk about here is if multiplayer allowed me to vote on maps. That is important. It's also something that the developers themselves said that they did not want to do. Joe Seacott did say that map voting and stuff like that is not something they wanted to do. Although each lobby is technically a new lobby, they do try to keep players together that they've previously played with, which doesn't make sense. Like, why don't you just do the normal lobby system if you're going to keep players together anyway, which is something that just doesn't sound right to me. Map voting is something that's been in Call of Duty for a very, very long time, and the fact that Infinity Ward decided to take it out here in Modern Warfare makes things like, it just doesn't really make sense, because people don't want to play Piccadilly, people don't want to play As Here Cave, like that shit. People don't want to play it. People want to play Hackney Yard, Gunrunner. Arguably, you can say people don't even want to play Crash because Crash is fucking garbage here in Modern Warfare. Haven't played too much of Vacant, so I can't speak on that, and I haven't played too much of Shipment, so I can't speak on that either. But map voting needs to, it's a small feature that would improve the overall multiplayer experience, therefore should be in the game. There's some glaring issues here in Modern Warfare that need to be addressed, and a lot of these points here in the survey don't even address those key issues. Again, maps. I think there should be a point here in terms of map design. There should be a point here in terms of safe space. There should be multiple things in here. Claymores, dead silence, perk balancing, that sort of thing. So while there are issues here that need to be addressed, there are also a lot of issues that were left out. There's a stupid point here is if my friends started playing again, that's why if there were new multiplayer maps, we know that we literally just got new multiplayer maps, so why is that here in this survey? If my technical problems were resolved, I'm pretty sure the technical problems here in Modern Warfare, everyone is experiencing it, so why have that there? It's just a lot of crap that didn't need to be in this survey, and a lot of stuff that wasn't in there, maybe because Activision and Infinity Ward didn't want those to be exposed. I mean, they did address match balancing here in the survey, which clearly indicates skill-based matchmaking is somewhere here in the game. It doesn't make sense, right? So there's a lot of things that need to still be addressed. This is a step in the right direction. It's interesting because Infinity Ward and Activision, or maybe it was just Activision, took the initiative to send these out to players who haven't played Modern Warfare as much as most people. I'd love to see a survey that gets sent out to everyone and not just people who haven't played Modern Warfare as much as everyone else, because the thing is, right, people who haven't played a lot of Modern Warfare don't notice spawn logic issues, they don't really notice weapon balancing, they don't really notice how skill-based matchmaking affects the game, and that sort of thing. People who have not played for as much as everyone else, I guess, and like the core fans who want to stick to the game or whatever, don't know those things. So I'd love for a survey to come out after this one, say, to everyone and not just those specific target market of people, because it's essentially, it will just open up everything. It'll open up the responses they get. They'll get proper true responses, because if you just cater the things you change to the game to cater casual players, and again, this is something that completely screams casual gamers, what's the point? Because they're not going to they don't have, I guess, enough experience in either Call of Duty or in Modern Warfare in general to have proper constructive criticisms and ways to fix the game. So why create a survey that only goes out to either casual players or people who don't play Modern Warfare a lot, which doesn't make sense, but we can't have everything step in the right direction. I hope it's something that we see further elaborated on, because if we got this survey, and if everyone got this survey, I think that we can see, and they can't really hide from the blaring issues that this game faces, and the people in the community are going to be truthful, and they're going to provide constructive criticisms, and hopefully Infinity Ward and Activision get the idea that skill-based matchmaking needs to either go or be turned down heavily. Spawns still aren't fixed. There's weapons in the game that needs balancing. Safe space needs to be chucked in the bin. And just a lot of issues. There's a lot of things that's wrong with Modern Warfare, making it a game where I can only play 30-45 minutes a day max, or else I'm gonna get too frustrated, and I'm gonna not want to play the game anymore, and it's gonna be just bad news, bad times, because I want this game to succeed. I want this game to be a good Call of Duty game. It just sucks that Infinity Ward is just, it's either arrogance, it's ignorance, it's something that they just don't want to listen to the core player base. They could have easily made this survey open to and given out to everyone who has logged a minute into Modern Warfare. It could have easily been something like that. Yes, not everyone's going to respond to it, but by limiting the people, because the people who aren't playing Modern Warfare, chances are they don't want to keep playing Modern Warfare, or chances are they are just casual players who don't really play Call of Duty as one of their main games. They'll play a variety of different games and not just Call of Duty, which a lot of the core player base will only play Call of Duty and maybe one other game. Again, limiting the amount of the people you get responses from is just, again, catering to those new players / casual players who play this game every so often and don't really understand what the key issues are, because they only play the game every so often. But that's enough for me, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, please leave a like, comment down below. If you got this survey and you were to give one piece of constructive criticism to Infinity Ward and Activision about Modern Warfare, what's that piece of criticism? What would you say to them? Leave that all down below. Click subscribe if you're new here so you don't miss out on my next videos, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.
She wanna know my real name. She getting way too comfortable. Now she wanna wear my chain. I'm feeling way too vulnerable. She wanna know my government name.